Today, I'm going to be unboxing 2 new Harmoniums. My name is Jeff Starr. This is my channel, Not Bad Films. I gotta admit, I'm excited here. It's not very often that 2 Harmoniums show up at your doorstep. And so let me explain what's happening here. Old Delhi Music is a music store outside of Urbana, Illinois. They specialize in harmoniums and other Indian classical instruments. They have sent these to me to review and do a series of videos about them. I'm not being paid to make this video, so I have full editorial control and I can say whatever I want. And when I'm done, I do have to send these back to Old Delhi Music, but I will probably have them for a while. So over this series of videos here, we'll really kind of get in depth with them, and we'll really be able to dig in and kick the tires, whatever you want to say, right? So that if you're interested in these instruments, you'll have a good understanding of them and what they are. Yeah, so this is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of excited. So let's get these opened, and let's learn a little bit more about what's happening here. I should also say that I'm joined by my dog Rusty. Rusty, say hello. Hello. And today's audio mix is being overseen by Adrian Locke. Adrian, say hello.
I'm here to keep this bozo humble.
So if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been studying the sitar for quite some time and Indian classical music. And so a while back, Old Delhi Music sent me 2 sitars to demo and to review and use in videos. And I'll put links to those videos below. You may have also seen my interview with Nick Dillon, the owner of Old Delhi Music, the original founder. It's a really interesting interview. I really love his story. In that, he and I discussed his love of harmoniums and sort of that initial genesis, how that sort of birthed his company. He had become increasingly frustrated with the fluctuating quality of the instruments that he was getting from various makers. And so it was sort of a situation of like, I'm just going to build these myself, and I'm going to do it right. But of course, you can't build them by yourself. You need to have a team.
That's true.
And so his next big goal in that process was to create a factory or an assembly that would challenge the norm for manufacturing of these types of instruments. The instruments are made from sustainable wood in a factory that has a healthy work culture, promotes mutual respect for all employees, and has fair wages. And Nick told me in that interview that after visiting some of the other various factories where harmoniums were being made, that he just saw working conditions that you just can't unsee. And he felt that a sort of ethical obligation to ensure that if he was going to build instruments, he was going to try and address that problem and create a positive work environment for these instruments to be built. And so he named that brand Bhava, and that's what they've sent me today, these 2 Bhava harmoniums. I don't know how to play harmonium.
I do.
All of the harmoniums that Old Delhi Music sells are set up in-house by their techs. They can get tuning and sort of a solid once over before they go out the door. This is really important because these are wooden instruments, right? And making that big travel from India to the United States, there's obviously changes in temperature, humidity. If you just were to try to play it at that point, things will have perhaps shifted, and that was a problem that was compounded by poor craftsmanship in the harmoniums that he was buying from other makers. So what Nick wanted to do was address those build concerns. By looking at modern building techniques, you'll see that some of their harmoniums have dovetail joints, which is, I don't think really anyone does that, which creates obviously a more solid, connected structure. So having all that work done from both sort of the engineering standpoint of how they're actually being built, and then that final additional setup and polish is really key to making a great instrument. And you'll see that guitar manufacturers do this. Reverend Guitars, this is sort of their big approach. They have their instruments made in South Korea. They all come to the United States for a detailed setup and sort of making everything perfect. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out my interview with their CEO, Ken Haas, and there's a video link somewhere.
This is way too much self-promotion. Rusty, can you Can you tell him?
Today, I ate out of the cat's litter box. She wasn't happy.
This job just isn't as fun as it used to be.
So inside this envelope, there is a photo here of the team that makes these instruments. I can see Nick in the middle there. And then on the back of this card, and on the other cards here that are included, there are little like testimonials from employees that sort of say little things about what it's like working here. I'll just read a couple of these. It was the turning point of my life when I joined here. Before that, we never used mechanical tools. Most of the things were being done by hands only. It saves my energy, and that energy I am using to make the best harmoniums. We are focused on quality rather than quantity. There's a great working culture and a good teamwork that we have only seen here. And it says here, has worked in the harmonium industry for 35 years. Yeah, these are, I won't read all of them because if you buy one of these harmoniums, these Bhava harmoniums, I want you to read the card. I want it to be special for you. I don't want to give it all away. These are really nice. And this is, I think, part of the Bhava story, you know, right? Like making this stuff human, it's ensuring that the employees that are working here are treated fairly and in fair wages and with respect and good working conditions. So this is nice, sort of makes you feel good, right?
So, does this mean that, like, maybe I'll get paid?
I get paid in belly rubs. Little guide here. Oh, it's sort of more than that. It's sort of like little book of all the different levels, editions that they make of the Bhava instruments. You know, based on their size, number of keys, etc. Stuff like this. It's a nice little booklet just to get as well. But now to the real content here.
Yeah, you want to hurry this up? You're really milking it.
Ooh, this is nice. So, comes with this little gig bag strap. Pretty good latch. Okay, so it's my job to like be honest with you and complain about stuff, right?
Oh God, here we go.
Could this strap be a little bit more robust? Like, this is not a big shoulder pad, but like, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it really matters. I mean, if you were carrying this, like, I don't know, a long distance, probably, but it's something this size, you're maybe carrying it a short distance to your car or to how you're going to transport it, or maybe you're just unloading. So this is probably fine. This is good. Feels secure. Here's the big moment. Ooh, pretty.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
Rusty, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sleep in the bag.
But I want it.
Don't you dare.
All right. So I'm going to try to get some shots of these. I got to say, this one looks really pretty. This has the dovetail joints. I'm going to set this aside and we're going to open the smaller one next. All right, so now the smaller box of the two I received. Similar packaging. It's really nice, thick, dense foam on all sides of this box. These boxes themselves are multi-walled. I don't know, maybe these are 4 layers of corrugated cardboard, and then this really thick styrofoam, I guess. Certainly really snug. Oh, and also one of the things I didn't point out on the other bag, which I noticed, is there is a little front zipper pouch here that you could store a few things. Oh, I think I closed it. There we go. It's pretty snug. So you can't get a lot in there, but you could fit a few, folded sheet of paper, basically. Maybe a couple, if you were maybe business cards, something like that, you could fit in there. Maybe some small dog bones or chew toys or kibble, maybe snacks of sorts.
I really need to start sending on res. I mean, I went to school. I studied sound, and like this is what I'm doing. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, honestly, what's going on? I'm making sound mixes for YouTube. This is ridiculous.
So let's open it up. Ooh. Very nice. So there's retaining clips on each side, so I'm going to pop those up. I'm going to open this up. This is kind of the moment of truth because This is a collapsing model, and that's, I think, you know, more moving parts, you got more problems. But so we open the latches here. I'm going to do my best to do this sort of upside down on this side, sort of, so bear with me. Really pretty purple here. I don't know if you can tell that. So now there are these 2 latches on the bottom which push in. This one is pine, I believe. Right, you see it starts to spring up a little bit. Now I'm just going to carefully pull this up. Sort of floats a bit. It's on sort of springs at first. And then let's pop out. It sits. This can now drop around. And you'll see that this part of the here is going to line up. And that needs to make a good seal. It feels like it sits really well. And there's our, oh, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Purple, really beautiful, and then it's like metallic. It's like, ooh, fancy. Which matches really nice the chrome hardware. Here's so forth. Now, you're probably asking, can I hear you play them? More to come. Ooh, are you teased? Okay. First impressions on these, very beautiful. I don't feel worthy, right? I'm very impressed. These are really, really pretty. The construction's really tight and clean. They don't feel cheap. They feel really well assembled. The finishes are really nice. Right, everything feels really well done. There's no like tolerance issues that I'm spotting offhand. It feels really nice. This model in particular, in looking through the little brochure, I saw that they used the word heirloom quality, and that's really important to me. You'll see I have a Dr. Z amp over here. That's an expensive amp. I'm not gonna kid you. That's an heirloom amp though. That's gonna outlive me, and as long as they're still making vacuum tubes, probably my kids, right? Like, this is designed to last a long time, and it's beautiful and sounds amazing. If that level of attention to detail of truly making an heirloom instrument has been applied here, then I'm very, very excited. I think this is great. Having talked to Nick in our interview and over email since then, I feel really confident that these are going to be great. Over the next several videos, we're going to be digging into these in depth, their features, specs, what makes them good or not, and hopefully taking a few lessons along the way and sort of sharing that journey and experience with you. And I'm going to try to get some people in here who do know how to play these to actually play them. If you want to follow this journey, you want to learn more about these, you want to get that information, please like and subscribe. And I also have a Patreon where you can find some additional behind the scenes information on these, other videos, upcoming videos, etc. Thank you so much for watching, and go be creative. Go make something. Bye.
Okay, now I need you to do all the thumbnails. So do some thumbnails for us, please. Something funny.
Gotta make some thumbnails. Ugh.
Oh God, what is
Gotta make
this?
some thumbnails. Ooh.
This is horrible.
Gotta do cheesy stuff for the
It's awful.
thumbnail. Hey, 2 Harmoniums.
Honestly, I quit.